Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're tackling a concept that is literally the undeniable foundation of all profitable trading. We're talking about the stop loss. Now, what fascinates me about this topic is just the sheer paradox of the whole thing. The stop loss is universally known, right? It is, without a doubt, the simplest rule in all of finance. And yet somehow it's simultaneously the single most ignored rule by retail traders everywhere. Today, we're going to break down exactly what this tool actually is, the psychology behind why we absolutely hate using it, and the cold, hard mathematical reality of why you just cannot survive the markets without it. So, let's just start with the elephant in the room. Why do we ignore the simplest rule in finance? I mean, if you've been trading for any amount of time, you probably already know the exact feeling I'm talking about. You enter a setup, the market turns against you, and instead of just taking the tiny paper cut and moving on, what do? Well, you do something incredibly dangerous. You hold on to that losing position and you just start hoping. You sit there staring at the red screen and you pray it bounces back. It's a completely universal human experience in trading, but honestly, it's one that completely destroys portfolios. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the mechanics. What is a stop loss? Stripping away all the emotion, a stop loss is simply a predetermined price at which you exit a losing trade. You accept a fixed loss rather than letting that loss get any bigger. That's it. Simple, obvious, and totally necessary. Think of it like this. Let's say you buy a stock at exactly $100. You immediately set a stop loss at 95. If the stock drops to 95, the system just takes over. Your position automatically closes and you take a very controlled $5 loss. The bleeding stops right there. No questions, no hesitations, just a clean mechanical exit. Moving right along to Section 2, the psychology, why we avoid stops. If you ask a retail trader why they aren't using a stop loss on a bleeding position, you're almost always going to hear some variation of this. I don't want to lock in a loss. I think it'll come back. I want you to really think about those words for a second. Are they logical? No, not at all. They're entirely emotional statements. When you buy a stock, human nature just naturally kicks in. You create an emotional attachment because, hey, it's your hard-earned money. So when that stock price drops, your brain interprets it as you failing, not the trade setup failing. To avoid that real psychological sting of losing, you hold on, hoping for a turnaround, just so you don't have to admit defeat. And that brings us face to face with a massive behavioral trap known as the sunk cost fallacy. This psychological phenomenon absolutely destroys retail traders. You feel like, because you've already committed the money, you just have to write it out. But I need to be brutally honest with you here. The stock doesn't care about your feelings. The market doesn't know he bought in at $100. It doesn't know you're sitting at your desk desperately hoping it comes back. If the setup failed, well, the setup failed. The market is completely indifferent to your emotional attachment. If you don't use a hard stop loss, you end up in this agonizing downward spiral. Week 1, the price drops. You don't have a stop, so you just tell yourself, okay, no panic, I'll just exit at 90. Then week 2 hits. The price drops right through 90. So what do? You move the goalposts. You say, all right, I'll exit at 85. It absolutely has to recover from there. By week 3, the price crashes to 85. And suddenly, you're down $1,500 instead of the $500 you originally planned to risk. You haven't just lost a massive chunk of change, you've wasted 3 whole weeks of capital and mental energy. The emotional pain of taking a small loss easily overrides the logic of risk management, so you end up taking a catastrophic loss instead. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the reality of the numbers. Section 3, the math, stops versus no stops. Let's look at the actual math of risk management. Imagine we have 2 traders, Trader A and Trader B. Let's compare their core metrics. They both take exactly 10 trades. They both have the exact same win rate, 6 wins and 4 losses. They even have the exact same average win of $500. By all accounts, their ability to pick winning stocks is totally identical. But check out the average loss. Trader A uses stop losses, keeping their average loss capped at $300. Trader B doesn't use stops. They hold on to losers hoping for comebacks, and their average loss spirals to $1,500. Let's do the final math. Trader A walks away with a very solid $1,800 in total profit. Trader B, on the other hand, Trader B finishes with a devastating $3,000 loss. Let that sink in. A negative $3,000 hole in their account. Same win rates, same number of trades, same exact ability to pick winners. The only difference between a profitable career and a totally blown-up account in this scenario is the mechanical use of a stop loss. Which leads us right into Section 4, the hidden drain, opportunity cost. You see, the damage doesn't actually end with the money you lost. It's also about the money you completely miss out on. Let's walk through exactly how this trap works step by step. Let's say you have a $10,000 account. Step 1, you buy a stock, it drops 20%, and you hold it. You now have a $2,000 loss acting like a deadweight, locking up your capital. Step 2, you remain emotionally and financially committed to this comeback. You're constantly checking the chart, you're stressed out. Step 3, and honestly, this is the real killer. Over the next 3 weeks, the broader market has 3 explosive, highly profitable moves. But you miss all of them. You can't take those amazing new setups because your capital is trapped in a sinking ship. By the time your losing stock finally recovers, if it ever does, you've actually lost money because you missed out on far better opportunities elsewhere.
All right, moving on to section 5, the strategy, setting your stop loss.
So there are 3 primary methods for placing a smart stop loss. First up, technical stops. This is where you place your stop just below a known support level on the chart. The logic is straightforward. If the price breaks below that support, the whole technical setup is failed, so you exit. Second, volatility stops. This accounts for how much the stock normally swings on any given day. If you're trading a wild, highly volatile stock, you'll need a wider stop so you don't get kicked out by normal market noise. If it's stable, you can keep it tighter. Third, risk management stops. This one is purely financial. You basically decide, I absolutely will not lose more than $500 on this trade, and you work backward from your entry size to find the exact price point for your stop. But listen, there is a golden rule to all of this. You must set the stop before you enter the trade, not after. Actually, scratch that. It's absolutely crucial. If you try to set it while you're already in the trade, your emotions are going to meddle with it. You'll move it down to avoid a loss or move it prematurely to lock in a tiny profit. Presetting the stop completely removes human error.
Almost done here. Section 6, the mindset, professional versus amateur.
Notice the stark difference here. The amateur mindset thinks, I have to take a loss. That means I failed, I'm a bad trader. They attach their personal ego to the trade. Now, look at the professional mindset. Risk limit hit, setup failed. I exit and move to the next opportunity. Do you see the difference? So the crucial point is that for the professional, there's no judgment. There's zero ego. A stop loss isn't a failure. It is simply risk management. It's just a business expense. They made a trade, they were wrong, they exited in an organized way, and they're already looking for the next setup. And you know, this exact philosophy, executing mechanically without letting emotion override your plan, is precisely the framework taught by Calibre signals. They teach traders exactly how to set those risk limits before entering, how to properly size positions to match that stop, and most importantly, how to execute like a well-oiled machine. If you want to build this essential foundation of risk management, I highly recommend checking out their Discord community. It's a fantastic place to unlearn those bad habits and learn how to truly survive and thrive in the markets. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought as we close out today's explainer. Take a hard look at your own trading journal. Look at your history. Tomorrow morning, as you open your brokerage account, I want you to ask yourself this. Will your next trade be driven by hope, or will it be protected by math? Make the decision to use a stop loss before you ever click buy again. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep growing, and absolutely most importantly, protect your capital.